CQ, the old friends net. This is WA4LLR, Dave in Burnsville, North Carolina, calling CQ the old friends net. This net meets on this frequency 3 times weekly, Tuesdays and Thursday mornings at 8 a.m. and Sunday afternoons at 5 p.m. The net is conducted in the amplitude modulation mode and carried out in a roundtable format. All stations are welcome to participate as long as they can generate an AM signal. The net caters mainly to vintage equipment, but any type of radio that can generate an AM signal is certainly welcome. So, CQ the old friends net. Stations wishing to participate today, give me a call and come down.
N4LQ.
WB4ARK.
N4R.
WA4EVK.
K3OS.
WB4NKL.
W4MEC.
Okay, here's what we have so far. N4LQ, WB4ARK, KN4R, WA4EVK, K3OS, WB4NKL, and W4MEC. Did I miss anyone? Well, there was a carrier with no audio. Try it again. Okay, good carrier, but no modulation. One more time, any other station. All right, once more down the list, N4LQ, WB4ARK, KN4R, WA4EVK, K3OS, WB4NKL, and W4MEC. Stand by one more time, any other station.
KZ4 Bravo.
Okay, recognizing KZ4B. Good morning, John. Anyone else? Alrighty, we'll go ahead and get started. You're tail end Charlie right now, John. This is WA4LLR. We've got about, let's see what we've got right now. Looks like we're climbing pretty fast today. We were at 40, and now the thermometer I'm looking at says we're at 50. I don't know if I believe that or not. That's a pretty hefty jump in about an hour. But it's supposed to get fairly warm today, I think. Running the 610 again, and the Hammerlin HQ110A. And so far, everybody has a wonderful signal. So let's get started down in Shelby. N4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR's N4LQ. Well, good morning, everybody. It's sunny and 40 degrees. Dave, you must have had a heat wave come through there, or that BC610. Maybe that's warming up the thermometer there a bit. I'm running a AF68 and the Drake 2A receiver and the horizontal loop antenna. So good morning to Buddy. It's all yours. WB4ARK, N4LQ.
N4LQ, WB4ARK. Okay, Steve. Well, the temperature here was 40 degrees also at about 7:15 this morning. So in keeping with everybody else's temperature. It seems like they threw a blanket over the area. So anyhow, I had a comment about your connection, which you've probably already done by now, to your transmitter. You were wondering about whether you should put the line through the switch or the fuse side. And I went back and checked the 62 ARRL handbook, 63 and 64, and they were all basically the same. The OR handbook up to number 22 showed about the same thing. They didn't show polarity, which I was a little concerned about that they did not show polarity connections to the line on any of their schematics. And so for me, I would definitely go with the line through the switch, and in some cases they put the fuse on the same side as the line, and the neutral or the other side of the line, not knowing whether it was the neutral or the line. But in this case, we know it's going to be the neutral. I would hook that to the other side that the fuse is connected to, unless you wanted to rewire the unit and put the fuse on the switch side. So with that said, we will transfer it over to KN4R, WB4ARK.
Okay, buddy. Very good. Good morning to you and all the people on the net. This is Brian, KN4R, Cheryl's Ford, and my watch says 45 degrees here, but who knows? And let's see, I've been cleaning up the shack here. I have a box of duplicate antique wireless reviews, which is a big thick, I won't call them a book, but I won't call them a magazine either. And I also have some AWA journals. So the next time I come to the Old Friends Net, I'll bring them, and maybe somebody can use them for their collection. They're very good reading. So I'm on the GRC9 here, and I've got to run. I'll stay here one more time. I've got to get ready and head over to the doctor's office here in just a little bit. So over to you, Boone. Good to hear you. WA4EVK in the group, KN4R.
KN4R in the group, WA4EVK. Morning, Brian, everyone. 41 degrees here in Pickens. Looks like it's going to be a nice sunny day with not too bad a temperature. Running the AF68 into the Swan Mark 1 and out to a new antenna. Just put up a new 80 through 10 end fed about 45 feet. It's doing a good job on receive for me. Hope the transmit signal is up to par. Looks like at least the SWR is good. If it's radiating well, I got it made. Not much other than that. Over to Gary, K3OS to take it, WA4EVK.
Hey, morning, Boone. WA4EVK, K3OS. Well, you're loud and clear here today, for sure. As is everybody, which is nice. My local noise is, well, it keeps coming and going here. On for a burst, off for a burst. Somebody's got some crazy stuff in the neighborhood. Anyway, yeah, about 40, it was 39 degrees here when I got up this morning, about 6. And I think it's around 40, 41, something like that. Hoping it's going to warm up a little bit. I got a little outside work that I would kind of like to do today. And before the weather kind of fully shuts in. Steve, while I'm thinking about it, I have cleared Thursday, so I will see you Thursday morning. Looking forward to that. And looking forward to lunch this week. I'm going to bring a bunch of stuff to give away, so all you guys get your greedy hands ready. WB4NKL. Go ahead, Cliff, K3OS.
Yeah, K3OS, WB4NKL. Good morning to everybody. It's good signals coming in here into Limestone today. And it's warming up fast, Dave, here too. I had 29 degrees earlier and it's up to 35 now, so it's maybe it's gone on up from there, but it was 35 a minute ago when I looked. So I think it's going on up close to 60, which will be nice. It was kind of chilly all day yesterday. Don't know about the Thursday meeting yet. I'm still kicking it around. Can't say for sure what'll happen, but maybe I'll get down to Spartanburg. Send it on to Charlie. Go ahead, Charlie. W4 MEC WB4 NKL.
Okay, Cliff. WB4 NKL and the group W4 MEC. Good morning, fellas. Everybody's coming in good. Let's see. Gary is a little light in here this morning, but Q5. What else? I've got 4 thermometers and none of them agree. One attached to my shack outside the door says 32, or it did a few minutes ago. The one associated with my heat pump says 34. What else we got here? And the one, I've got another one that's a non-mechanical or electronic, a fluid one that's got a remote sensor under the eaves. It says 37, and grand total is, the last one says 40. This is on the pole, about 12 feet up in the air and about 20 feet from the house. So, and that's probably the only one that's in the sun. So I would guess that the other 3 at average is probably closer. But big deal. It's not hot out. Anyway, funny story, real quick funny story. My wife goes to the gym and she's got one of these gadgets you wear on your wrist, and it's waterproof, and she can get in the pool and she can do all this stuff, and it records what she does, and heartbeat and temperature and paces, number of steps she takes. So she came back yesterday morning and says she was a little puzzled. And I said, what's going on? I said, well, when at nighttime when she woke up, she said she looked at the readout on the phone, because it's Wi-Fi to the phone, of course, and she said, I had met all my goals last night. And I said, well, did you have a restless night? Were you tossing and turning? What's going on? She said, no, I always take it off and I set it over here. Well, she normally sets it on top of a Kleenex box. But the night before last, she set it down on the side table, what do you call that? What do you call the table with a little thing next to your bed? I forgot. And she has a noise machine. All it does is make white noise. That thing is so sensitive, and it was sitting on the tabletop, and the noise machine was on the tabletop. It was so sensitive, it was actually picking up that white noise and registering it as activity. So basically, she woke up and completed all her goals for the day. So she was happy after figuring that out. But I joked with her and I said, maybe that thing's got a microphone in it and they're listening to everything you do. So that's what got her looking, and she actually found it on Google that it has a vibration monitor in it, and that's used for registering maintenance and things like that. But if you got one, keep it on a Kleenex box. Unless you want to impress somebody with how active you are, and set it next to your noisemaker. KZ4B, W4MEC.
Okay, W4MEC in the group. This is KZ4B. Very good, Charlie. Conditions are not good here. QS Baker and selective fading. Plus, I may have a little water. Relatively normal. Enjoyed the ham fest. It was down in Lawrenceville. It was woof. It was definitely a virus. Was passed. Back row. Nobody was selling. It was on 3 sides around that big area. And the flea market on Saturday, like I say, was about a third less, but on Sunday there was one outdoor vendor, one, and no others. So it was almost zero. I was his second safe, and I think that he didn't sell any more than me and one other guy on Sunday. It was a total bust on Sunday. That really screwed the commercial vendors. So I would imagine Lawrenceville will never have another Sunday Ham Fest based on what happened. But we enjoyed it. Robert really messed us up. We rode with Robert Young, KN4R. He bought $5,000 worth of U-line packing material. And he had a large van and a huge trailer. But when we got down to U-line, they kept bringing stuff out. There was no room for what he ordered. So we ended up going to the Ham Fest and back with coolers in our laps, with Yeti coolers sitting in our lap because there was no room for them, which really messed up the ability to buy anything. I had some boxes and I could put stuff inside the boxes because they were already taking up room. But and I got some real bargains, but it was definitely and I've never been to a Ham Fest, I don't think, with that many good deals that I could not take advantage of. So it was, but we did have a great time. And so there. Back to Dave, WA4LLR in the group, KZ4 Bravo, over.
All right, John, fine business. Let me stand by. Any other check-ins for the old friends coming out? Okay, I guess we got everybody. Well, it sounded like you had a logistics issue there, John. Oh, man. Sorry there was all those bargains and you just couldn't snatch them all up, man. I think the Sunday thing is spread across the majority of Ham Fest nowadays, maybe with the exception of Orlando and Dayton, but I know they've stopped Shelby. I think this was the first year that they did not have the Ham Fest continue till Sunday. It was Friday and Saturday for Shelby. I think it's pretty much across the board. I remember when Sunday was, well, not as big as Saturday, but it was big. So, but as Stan has said, the attendance is becoming older and grayer and fewer. Oh man, Charlie, you're talking about a nightstand, brother, and you have given us the key to good to staying in shape. Just set a white noise machine by the bed, and you'll meet all your goals with very little effort. That's good. Cliff, sorry to hear that the lunch is in question. Hope to see you down there. And Stan, good deal on the giveaway. Be glad to see you at the luncheon. We certainly hope to make it this week. Boone, the new antenna has the S-meter on the peg up here. So I would give it an A+, 10 out of 10. Good morning to you, Mr. Bryan. The GRC9's doing its usual good job. Hope the doctoring goes well this morning, and fine business on the AWA material. Buddy, thanks for the comments on fuse placements. And Steve, the AF68 sounds good. And once again, I will list my desire to obtain a chart recorder. If anybody knows of one that's not being used at somewhat of a reasonable price, I would certainly be interested. Well, let's see. Space weather. Sunspot count's 87. Solar flux index is 133, and the K is 3. So it's fairly calm. A few items from this day in history. If I can get things to cooperate here. On this day in 1995, Yitzhak Rabin was assassinated, Prime Minister of Israel. On this day in 2008, Barack Obama became the first African-American elected president of the United States. On this day in 1980, Ronald Reagan was elected the 40th president of the United States, and in my humble opinion, one of the best we've ever had. On this day in 1979, the hostage crisis in Iran began as the U.S. Embassy in Tehran was seized by Iranian militants. On this day in 1946, UNESCO was established, which of course is the agency of the United Nations for promotion of international collaboration on education, science, and culture. On this day in 1924, Nellie Ross became the first woman elected governor of a U.S. state, and that state was Wyoming. And on this day in 1922, British archaeologist Howard Carter discovered the tomb of the Egyptian pharaoh Tutankhamun. A few items from this day in history. So, Steve, back down to you. N4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ. Okay, real good on the chart recorder. I just wonder, Dave, if you saw my post email about that digital multimeter that had the Bluetooth transmitter in it and transmits to the phone, to the Android phone, and provides a basically a chart recorder. It'll hold many hours of storage, and it was pretty cheap. I think it was $50 or so. I looked up chart recorders. Those things are expensive. Even the used ones are. And this little thing I posted on there would measure down in the sub-microvolt or microamp range and transmit it to your phone. So it seemed like a pretty good alternative. So I just wondered if you'd seen that. And buddy, thanks for all that research. I'm really not sure what your bottom line was there, conclusion. And I learned something a long time ago, that electricians and electronic people think differently when it comes to voltage or to polarity. It seems like AC on its own doesn't really have a polarity, but if you ground one side of it, then they call that the neutral, or they call it the ground. And neutral neutral in respect to what? To the other side? No, it's both sides will shock you if you're holding the other side. So to me, it seems like a piece of ham equipment should go through the fuse first, and that way if anything happens beyond that fuse to short at the ground, it'll blow the fuse and protect you. And of course, that's the way your house is wired. The power goes into the fuse first, and then out to the switches, and then to the loads. So I'm polarized to having the fuse in line first. Anyhow, KZ4B, your audio was off about half the time there at first, and for about the first half, and then it started to clear up. So you got something loose there. And I wonder, I guess you are coming to the luncheon on Thursday? And Robert Young, KN4R, is got the wrong call sign, I think. And speaking of KN4R, over to you, Brian. KN4R, N4LQ.
Buddy's next. WV4AR, K in the group, KN4R.
KN4R, WB4ARK. Okay, Brian. Well, yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Steve. It should go through the fuse, but the ARRL, much to my chagrin, had it going both ways. They had the fuse in one leg of incoming power and the switch on the other leg, and nothing was polarized, so they did not designate a polarization on the incoming line. And so, yeah, like I said, I would put the fuse on the switch side, which is typically the way it's done in modern times, and have the neutral, which we deal with today. And the neutral, by the way, is grounded at your equipment panel coming into the house, your circuit breaker panel. So the neutral being different from the ground in that the ground should not be pulling any current, and the neutral should be pulling the return current from the line. So that's the way I would do it. That would require a rewiring of the circuit, maybe only slightly, but I like to have my fuse on the same side as the incoming line, and the neutral going to the common of all the circuits, transformers, lights, etc., that are connected to the that circuit, that neutral circuit. And the neutral should not shock you if it's connected properly. There should be no actual, should not read any voltage on the neutral if you were reading it from ground to neutral. However, it is only grounded, it is only supposed to be grounded at the circuit breaker panel or the meter box, actually in the circuit breaker panel, and then also the meter box. John, your signal was really intermittent at first. Probably half of your transmission, and then cleared up. So there you have that. Let's see what else. Oh, Boone. Yeah, your signal is much better. I like the new antenna. It seems to give you a much better indication here at my location. The signal is strong, and I like that. So we'll turn it over to Brian, KN4R, WB4ARK.
4ARK in the group, KN4R. I'd like to second that, Brune. Your new antenna sounds really good, and congratulations on that. Everybody's rigs sound really good today. And John, I hope you're able to go with Steve to the luncheon. Also Gary, great to hear you, Gary, by the way. So anyway, I've got to run, get ready, but you guys have a good one. Talk to you later in the week. WA4EVK in the group, KN4R73.
KN4R in the group, WA4EVK. Well, thanks, buddy, for the good words there. The difference here, I think, is with Steve's help, I worked pretty hard on these common mode chokes, getting them right. I have 2 in line this time, and it greatly reduced the noise, and it seems to have been effective on this thing radiating. I'm not running any different equipment, any different power, so I'm pretty happy with
with the effort there. And I agree with Buddy on the fuse and so forth. All I can say is all the years of commercial practice in instrumentation and stuff, my incoming power ran to the fuse first. And in fact, we followed the rule that Charlie was talking about the other day, where the incoming power went to the back of the fuse holder. Just a little added safety. And that is just it. I will not run anything with a non-polarized line cord either. Years ago, I owned an SBE transceiver, and when I first bought it, I learned real quick that, and I don't know why anyone would leave it with a non-polarized cord to get a possible hot chassis, but that's what the guy did, and it quickly gained a polarized line cord. Learned my lesson on that one. I don't care about collection, an item's collectability, or how it came out of the factory. It's going to have that minimum of polarized line cord around me, just for safety's sake. And that's about it here. Over to Gary, K3OS to take it, WA4EVK.
WA4EVK, K3OS. Okay, guys, nice. The noise is back, but everybody is well overriding it, I'm very happy to say. So, good copy all the way around. Dave, I was going to make a comment. I don't know if you've had the opportunity. I have, to visit the Ronald Reagan Library out in California. It is really quite a nice place to visit if you ever get out there. And they've actually got his Air Force One and Marine One under roof. The jet is supported on 1, 2, 3 pedestals. It's incredible. Indoors. Anyway, they had to disassemble a plane and to get it in there and then put it back together again. It was quite a thing. But anyway, it's a beautiful facility on the hill up in California. Over to you, Cliff. WB4NKL, K3OS.
Yeah, K3OS, WB4NKL. Running the BC610 again today. I didn't know if I mentioned that or not. And good copy on everybody except John breaking up a little bit on the audio, but copied everything else fine. Yeah, they weren't quite concerned about safety years ago. I used to see the 30s radios that had a hot chassis with a non-polarized cord, so you got a 50-50 chance of having 120, 110 volts on the chassis back in those days, and then all the ham equipment with the high voltage terminals on the back and open. So quite a change. I don't think any of that would make it these days. So don't have much else here. I guess I'll get out here and see about getting a walk in before it gets too hot. I don't think it's going to get too hot today, though, but I'm going to get started anyway. So enjoy it. 73s. Thanks for calling it, Dave, and we'll catch everybody there Thursday, I guess. And maybe see everybody, or most of you Thursday. We'll have to see how it goes here. W4MEC, WB4NKL.
Okay, Cliff, WB4NKL and the group. W4MEC, real good. Good round. Yep, John, you definitely had a mic cable problem there, and it's kind of settled down at the end, but most of your transmission kept breaking up. I think we got the gist, though. What else here? Yes, electricians and electronics are, in some areas, are kind of opposite. One of the things that we dealt with was, of course, electronics is, electricity flows from negative to positive and everything else. But the engine generators that we had, that we all, worked on, inside when you open the control panel, there was a giant schematic of how the engine generator was laid out, and in that electricity flows positive to negative, because it had a DC circuit for start and all that. and the relays that had issues with involved with starting the engine, but it was a little bit backwards there. But you just got used to it, and it didn't really make any difference. I mean, there wasn't any safety issues between the two, but it was just different. So yeah, and I don't know. I tell you, the king of cheesy high voltage connections I always thought was the Johnson 500 with those 3 pins in the back. Those were the 3 pins, and it wasn't even good like banana plugs. It was little pin jacks, and I'm going, you got to be kidding. That always seemed a little light for me, and especially with that high voltage. But anyway, that would seem like a number 1 thing to swap out there, was a different kind of high voltage connector, and something a little more secure than just something that would just fall out if something fell behind the transmitter or you tugged on it. So anyway, well, I got a project today, and that's to go get my daughter a tire put on, and she had a flat yesterday. She was up here visiting and got down there about Highway 108 and US 74, and her tire went flat, and she said she didn't have a jack, but she did find it. But I went down there and changed the thing, and it wasn't flat. When she had the wreck back last year and the car was fixed, they had to replace a lower control arm on the right front. And when they did all that, they aligned the front end, and I got the paperwork that shows the front end alignment is dead on, you know, perfect there on those, one of those, the fancy alignment deal where they do all 4 tires, you know, electronic, and they give you a printout. And when I got there and looked at it, and the inside of that right front tire was worn down to the cord, so she didn't have a puncture. She just had a tear in the actual tire itself for the leak. But so I'm going, well, wait a minute, that tire wasn't 100% when she got the car back, but it shouldn't have worn like that. So now I'm going to have to get her up here to run her through the place here with the alignment rack and see what in the world's going on. But hopefully I can find her a used tire, and then when she gets a chance to get up here and have it tested, she won't wear that one out. You know, she works so much. She works 6 days a week, and so it's hard to get her to break away to come up here, or to get her set up down there to get checked. So, but I'm glad it went low on her as she was coming off the exit there off 74 to get on 108. So it wasn't like a high-speed blowout or nothing. So that's good. So, all right, back up to the top. No, back up to the bottom. Almost forgot here. See if you got that bike cord sorted out there, John. KZ4B, W4MC.
Okay, W4MEC in the group KZ4B. Got a frog in my throat. If you're still listening, Brian, I apologize for messing up the call. Robert Young is NC4RY, which includes his initials. And Steve, I am going to skip the luncheon this week. Excuse me, I've got a very full plate, and so I'm not going to be able to work it in. I miss it. I really enjoy the going to your house, so I will definitely miss it, but we'll try to get back in gear next month. The conditions today don't seem to be very good on my end, and for whatever that's worth. With regard to the neutral, the code says that you never interrupt the neutral for anything. You don't interrupt it with a switch, a breaker, a fuse, or anything. And of course, the French, being French, they interrupt the hot and the neutral in their code. But there's absolutely no reason to interrupt the neutral, which is at ground potential, when everything is working right. However, I live on the lake, and the neutral here being grounded causes ground current leakage to corrode the steel on my pier. Most piers are wood and plastic, but my boat dock and floating section is made out of galvanized steel. I've got a covered boat slip, and if you leave the neutral connected, it corrodes the steel. And also, if you go in the lake swimming and you swim up to the steel, which is tied to the neutral, or even ground, it'll shock you. And so on my pier, when I turn things on, you don't touch the steel if you're swimming. And with it turned off, it interrupts the ground, the neutral, and the hot. It's a 3-pole switch that I have on my pier. It interrupts everything, because the ground in the lake is superior to the system ground, and so it will leak off into the steel in the lake. And like I say, current flow causes corrosion and to a boat. That it interrupts or isolates the power to power a boat, but it does not isolate the power. I've got 2 boat lifts down there, one under the cover slip, and then a much larger lift for a cabin cruiser. And so I kill all the power. So anyway, thanks for calling the net, Dave, and I hope I'm not having some sort of an antenna problem. Signals were generally very weak today relative to normal, and which has nothing to do with the bad connection on the mic. But anyway, enjoyed the Ham Fest, and I will probably be on Thursday if I can wake up in time, since I will not be going to the luncheon. So back today, WA4 and the group KZ4B, I guess on this round clear but listening.
Okay, John. KZ4B, WA4LLR. Well, let me see, do we have any late check-ins coming in? All right, I guess we got everybody. Well, that's interesting about your boat. I can see where that would be a little. Let's see here. And Charlie, sorry about the poor alignment job producing that tire failure on your daughter's car. It's I don't know. We've got 3 or 4 alignment places here in the area, and all the mechanics I've talked to say only one of them's any good. So every alignment is not always what it cracked up to be, it seems. Cliff, if you're listening, hope you have a good walk. And Gary, that's quite interesting about the Reagan Library. Yeah, I'd sure like to see that if I ever get out that way again. And Air Force One and Marine One under roof. I bet they don't let you tour Air Force One. I would find that tremendously interesting to be able to go through Air Force One, but I imagine they just let you look from the outside, I assume. And yeah, Boone, that new antenna I think is a great asset. I think it's done a super job for you. Brian, if you're listening, hope the doctor visit goes well. And Buddy, you're strong as always up here. Steve, yes, I did see the information on the digital multimeter, and if I'm unable to come up with chart recorder, I'll probably go that route. I believe somewhere I read in the info it only would store 11 hours worth of data, and I would like to at least get a 24-hour run at it. But yeah, if I can't turn one up here before long, I'll go that route. And I appreciate you researching that and posting that information. All right, well, we'll go ahead and do a 73 round. I know Brian has left the building, and Cliff and John may or may not have, but I'd say if we do a 73 round, he'll probably still be there. So we'll send it back around. Buddy will turn it to Boone, and Gary will turn it to Cliff. So N4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ. Yeah, you know, another thing that the electricians and the electronic people disagree on is the color of the wires, and black in electronics is always ground, and black in electrical work is always hot. And of course, I don't know about white, but red, that's a toss-up. Anyway, dangerous rigs. The 32V series has those big feed-through capacitors on the back. The Collins put on there, and so I've got. Let's see. There was of course a ground and a hot sticking out, and you bolt your power cord to that. Originally there was a cover over it, which I suspect very few transmitters still have, because you had to take those off to do anything with the power cord. And so there was that, and then the screw terminals across the back had some what I'll send a picture on that so you can see what I did. And so now those are just disabled. And then the LISCO transmitters, they had 600 volts plate voltage sticking out the back, ceramic terminals just wide open. All you had to do was reach around there and grab it, and it was there all the time. I tell you, they just didn't care, I guess. Well, sorry you can't make it to the lunch, John. We'll miss you. We'll enjoy more chicken livers, but you'll have to think about that for a month now before you can get back to the livers. Anyway, let's see. And Boone, yeah, your signal was 20 plus over, so you were right up there with Dave and everybody else. Well, let's see, Cliff was up there pretty high too, and so was Charlie. So you did a good job, and I'm glad it turned out for you. You might describe the exact things that you use for the chokes. I think you said you put 2 in series, and either that or maybe you could draw it and post it to the net. And let's see, I think that is about it. So we'll see you all on Thursday, and I guess this is the 73 round, so I'll turn it over to Buddy. Sorry I skipped you last time, Buddy. WB4ARK, N4LQ.
N4LQ, WB4ARK. Okay, Steve. Well, I think, John, if you had a ground fault circuit feeding your boat ramp, it would probably be tripping out as soon as you energized it, because I think you've got leakage current from your hot to your boat ramp somehow. And I think if you disconnected your line, you'd probably find that the neutral is not conducting to the water. Anyhow, yeah, there's like I said, 1962, as early as or late as 1962, they did not show polarity, and that didn't come along until the 2000s, I guess, in the handbook. So we will let that go. Yeah, red is used for line 2 on your circuits typically. That's why you have red, black, white, and green for conductor, or red, black, white, green on your 230-volt circuits. So anyway, thanks for calling the net, Dave, and over to Boone. WA4EVK, WB4ARK.
WB4ARK in the group, WA4EVK. Well, thanks, buddy, and Steve for the words on the antenna. Steve, I think I'll make a picture of that thing and put it in the, send an email to the reflector. I did use one of the dual core or 2-core chokes for the upper end, and a different one for the lower end, and it's worked out quite well. Charlie, if you might tell me whether you're going to be on 6 tonight or not. I think you might have a meeting over there. And that's it. Enjoyed it, guys. It's kind of nice to be able to hear.
You're just about pinning the meter here. Maybe it's the time of day, but everybody is doing a really nice job. You in particular are very strong. And nice to hear everybody. Dave, one quick comment about that Air Force One out at the museum. No, you can go on it, which was really neat. It's fully open. Get a chance to see what a presidential jet looks like. Anyway, look forward to seeing some of you guys on Thursday. If I have a chance, I may get on here for a couple of minutes before heading out down to Steve's, so to meet up with him. So we'll look for everybody on Thursday morning. Over to you, Cliff. Look forward to seeing your smiling face. WB4NKL, K3OS.
Now he's signed.
And I guess over to Charlie, right?
Okay, K3OS, W4MEC. I got something over here developed a noise. I don't know what it is to look into. It's somewhere in the receiver, I guess. But, let's see. Color coding of wire. Yeah, that was a big difference. But, you know, I guess they ran into so many colorblind people. And or maybe it was just a mandated change, but like electrical wiring in systems like on an airplane, they're always white and they're always got a number on them. So, and some of those wires, you know, 22 wires, and that number is printed on that white jacket, and it's repeated the full length of the wire, which is an interesting thing, because that means if you got 1,000 wires or so in an airplane, that each of those wires got a different number. That's 1,000 different rolls of wire, or maybe they have some way of imprinting it at the airplane factory or at the business that uses them. But saw a lot of that. No more color codes, just a numbered wire, and you'd break open the TI and you'd see W11665I4, and you could follow it through the whole rig there, and it would go where it was going. But that just seemed like an odd way to get around that problem, or maybe it was considered bulletproof. I mean, the wire has a number on it, and if you know, purple and red, or you can't separate purple and red, maybe it's a good thing. But you know, the last result was always to use an ohm meter and check it. But anyway, remember that. So, alrighty. So good. Thanks for running the net there, Dave, and we'll see you all Thursday, maybe on 1864. And Boone, yep, I'm planning on being here. Nope, next week is the meeting, so I should be here. If I'm awake and I don't forget, I will be here around 8 o'clock give me a few minutes, because a lot of times I don't get in till about 8 o'clock. So I should be here. You know, the other two factors is being awake and remembering. So, going to miss you at the meeting there, John, and I'm sure the Golden Corral, if they've stocked up on chicken livers, they're going to be sadly disappointed on Thursday. So if you're still there, K73 all KZ4B, W4MEC.
Well, I guess John took off. All right, folks, enjoyed it this morning. I appreciate everyone checking in. So 7-3, God bless. Everybody have a great day. And Gary, thanks for that information. Yeah, that would be fun to get to go through an Air Force One. Lord willing, we'll do it again on Thursday. Everybody take care. This is WA4 LLR, Dave in Burnsville, North Carolina, closing this session of the Old Friends Net, 7-3.
Dave, could you